Is the Duterte administration willing to negotiate a new agreement with the United States? This is the second half of Hot Copy. We have with us Secretary Sal Panelo. Let's start with that very question first. Is the Duterte administration open to renegotiation?
No.
Why not?
Because he said this about time that we stand on our own 2 feet. We have to strengthen our capabilities and our defenses. We cannot be forever rely on the strength of our ally. Hindi na eh. Kailan pa? Sabi niya, kung hindi ngayon, kailan pa? If not now, when are we going to do that?
But then it doesn't mean that if you have allies, you can't strengthen your own military.
Oh,
I mean,
sige nga, di ba ilang taon na tayong ganito? Na-strengthen ba natin? Hindi, kasi umaasa nga tayo eh. Saka isa pa, alam mo sabi ni Presidente, sino ba kalaban natin? Meron ba tayong kalaban? Wala naman tayong kalaban ah.
But what about Marawi? I mean, hindi ba kalaban yun?
Yun ang sinasabi ni Presidente. Ang kalaban lang natin, yung mga terorista at mga NPA, mga Muslim rebels.
But didn't the United States?
Sabi niya, ito lang ang kalaban natin. Kaya natin yon. Dahil kung hindi natin kaya yon, wala tayong karapatan maging gobyerno. That's one. Number two, sabi nga ni Secretary Lorenzana, bakit? Ano bang ginawa ng Amerikano doon sa Marawi? Sharing of intelligence lang naman sila. Hindi naman totoo yung sinasabi.
But you believe that's lang yun? I mean, that's not... Isn't intelligence
para kasi
the
naman
key?
Kung palabasin nila, parang silang nag-crash. Hindi naman totoo rin yun eh.
So you're just saying right now that the President is not open to any kind or any form of renegotiation?
For that matter, with any other country too. Ayaw niya talaga eh.
No.
Tinanong ko siya, are you open to military force agreement with other countries? No. For as long as I'm president, no.
So, if he is not, the question now is this. What happens to the Mutual Defense Treaty? Let me just go back a bit. Let's backtrack. The Visiting Forces Agreement essentially outlines the behavior of soldiers in the country, further strengthened by EDCA. Without the VFA, the EDCA is rendered useless, of course. But the Mutual Defense Treaty, Teddy Boy Locsin said it would be just a piece of paper. The Mutual Defense Treaty covers a bigger scope, that they come to the aid of the Philippines on certain periods. That's stated in the Mutual Defense Treaty. What does the President intend to do now with the Mutual Defense Treaty?
Well, the logical consequence of his statement that we have to be alone, on our own, defending ourselves, o di wala lahat yun, eventually. Ano pa bang magiging logical conclusion mo doon? Ayaw nga siya makipag-alay sa ibang bansa para doon kipag-enter ng mga ibang military force agreement. Ayaw niya nga yun eh.
The President's reaction or decision to abrogate the VFA essentially came at the heels of Senator Bato saying,
Wrong.
Didn't get a visa.
Wrong. That was only, as I said in my statement, the last straw that broke the camel's back. Maraming pinagdaanan. Di ba pinaliwanag ni Presidente, nag-uumpisa pa lang sila. Alam ko na ang gagawin ko pag ginawa nila lahat yun. Like, for instance, can you imagine asking us to release a detained prisoner here when 3 processes went through that? In other words, pinakikialaman mo yung internal affairs namin. You're disrespecting our judicial system. You're assaulting our sovereignty. Tapos, you're making a resolution pa condemning the drug war. Hindi mo naman alam kung ano nangyayari dito.
Okay, but with the prisoners, just to backtrack a bit, no? Senator Drilon was on the show, and that is not, the U.S. is not the only country where there's a similar treaty. With Spain, for example, a treaty with Spain covers a prisoner swap, which is, we've seen it during the time of former President Arroyo. That's one. That's part of the treaty. They're not asking for something that's not in the agreement.
Hindi naman swap ito eh.
No, that's why. But I'm just saying, I'm not saying it's a swap or... I'm saying that was agreed upon in that agreement per se. So they're not asking for something that's not been agreed upon.
So, what's the relation?
No, so why would he mention that as hinihingi nila ito? That's been ratified by the Senate. It's been there since 1999.
Yung swapping.
No.
Alin?
You've mentioned that the U.S., I don't want to get into details with this, but you've talked about the U.S., that the president said is asking that, in effect,
They were demanding the release of a prisoner. Can you imagine that?
Is it the release, or you mean to be detained in the U.S.?
No, teka muna.
Okay, go on.
I'm referring to Dilima, hindi naman yung mga sundalo. I'm not referring to the
I see. So good that you clarified. Okay, so because I didn't relate the
with
Lima to the VFA.
With respect to that, merong talagang disadvantage. You know why?
So that's a
Kasi,
clarification for our viewers. We were both referring to two different people.
Kasi in the VFA, when a personnel of the U.S. commits a crime, ang nag-assume jurisdiction na Amerikano.
Yeah, we've agreed to that.
Unless, kikiusap tayo, because of a particular importance to us, pag military personnel na nag-commit crime doon, sila pa rin ang mag-assume na jurisdiction. O nasa naman ang fairness doon.
So,
pero hindi yun ang reason.
That's not the reason.
Pinakamatindi talaga yung you're demanding the release of this ex-senator dahil daw wrongful detention. Doon siya naiinis. Cannot imagine, sabi niya, akala ko ba mga, like me, akala ko mga edukado to, mga marurunong. How can you demand for the release of somebody who is correctly, rightfully, and lawfully detained?
Okay.
As declared by the Supreme Court.
So this is something new in the sense that you're clarifying that he didn't make this decision just because Bato's visa was not renewed, but you're saying what really egged him was the U.S. asking the Lima's release.
No, marami yun, di ba? Matagal na namin pinaliwanag. Even the President, one, yung demanding the release. Disrespect of the judiciary assaulting our sovereignty. The resolution condemning the drug war. Number 3, yung tinatanggal nila yung mga visa ng mga supposed to be may kinalaman sa wrongful detention. Tapos yung pagtanggal din kay Bato. Marami yun eh. Alam mo, between us and the audience, even when he was mayor, ayaw niya na rito eh.
Ng US?
Ayaw niya talaga itong mga ganitong agreements. Kasi ever since mayor pa yan, dapat talagang...
Okay.
Kasi alam mo sinasabi, wala naman tayong kalaban. Sino ba kalaban natin?
First, the Senate hearing, you've heard Congressman Biazon, also former Senator Kit Tatad, say that you need the Senate's concurrence, at least 2/3 of it, before you abrogate any treaty. With this particular setup, it gives room for the president, any president, not just him, for abuse. Does this mean that any president can unilaterally, for example, cut us off ASEAN, cut us off the UN?
The president is the chief architect of foreign policy.
So you're saying...
And therefore, he can do that. Under the Constitution, wala naman sinasabi doon na yung abrogation may concurrence ng Senado. Ang sinasabi lang doon, kung mag-enter ka sa treaty. Yun. But we will let the Supreme Court decide because that will be a legal issue, constitutional issue that it has to be resolved by the Supreme Court. Okay sa amin yun. Welcome sa amin yun.
In terms of the guidelines for future
para malaman
reference
natin
as
kung
well.
sinong tama o mali.
Okay. But the president, has he spoken to at least anyone or even Foreign Affairs Secretary Teddy Locsin before making this decision?
Hindi. Kasi nga matagal niya ng pinag-aaralan, di ba, pinaliwanag niya sa speech niya. Nung nag-umpisa pa lang sila mag-demand ng release, sabi niya sa sarili niya, pag ito tinuloy ninyo at mayroon pa kayong gagawin, tatanggalin ko lahat yan. Alam mo si Presidente, nung mayor pa yan, when we were talking about governance, yung mga ginagawa niya ngayon, actually, ni-implement niya na lang yung mga pinag-usapan namin noon.
But Secretary, you've talked about the President wanting us to fend for ourselves. So
Yes.
does this mean, are you saying, that the Philippines will no longer seek military exercises and exchange with any other allied nation? No, nothing? We are...
Alam mo yung military exercises, pareho naman ano yan mutually beneficial to both. Like we've been saying that ang Amerikano gusto talaga ang Pilipinas because in their global strategic positioning, kailangan nila ito eh. Malapit tayo sa mga kalaban nila eh. Kaya talagang gusto nila ito. Kaya hindi sila titigil na mawala tayo sa kanila.
But I'm talking about military exercises. Are you saying, because the stand you said of the president is fend for ourselves, ayaw niya ng mga ganitong treaties, so are you saying that the government will no longer seek an exchange of military know-how exercises that would benefit our own soldiers with any other nation? Or just the US?
We are seeking, kung lumapit sila at mag-offer ng ganito at makakatulong sa, alam mo, sabi ng Presidente,
So it's just not
basta
the US?
palaging national interest at general welfare. Kung makakatulong sa atin, payag ako dyan. Pag
And you
hindi,
believe
ay,
the VFA is not of national interest?
palagay ko, otherwise the President will have made it continue.
Having the Mutual Defense Treaty is not of national interest?
Sinasabi niya nga panahon na tumayo tayo sa ating mga sariling kakayahan. Hindi pa pwede tayong palagi nakaasa sa iba't ibang bansa. Doon naman sa sinasabi nila na, paano na pag may nag-atake sa atin? Sabi ni Presidente, bakit? Sino ba kalaban natin? May kalaban ba tayo? Kaya nga, we are friends to all, enemies to none. But, the moment they threaten our territorial integrity and sovereignty, then we will rise to the challenge and fight them like the forefathers of ours.
Is the government open to seeking a new treaty, for example, of similar nature with
No.
China?
Sabi niya, no. Tinanong ko siya, Sir, Mr. President, are you willing to enter into a new military force agreement with other countries? No. Ibig sabihin talagang desidido siya noon, tumayo na tayo sa ating kakayahan. And if that will mean you will be spending more, then let's spend more.
How will this also affect our own military? Some officers have voiced out that half of the 300 more or so joint activities with the United States will be affected.
O, alam mo, Karen, yung mga pending na joint exercises, hindi pa naman apektado yun eh. Kung hindi pa naman nawawala yung mga tratado yun or treaties, di nandun pa rin yun. Until such time, tuloy yun. Kung baga, he's just laying the groundwork for the eventual elimination of all these things.